2, 1, action.
Well, my earliest musical memory, I think, would go back to the late 80s, early 90s. I remember my dad used to be part of this group called Echoes of His Return. It was a group, a music group that they had at their church, Forward in Faith. And I remember they used to rehearse at home, and it didn't matter how much they tried to make me go and play outside with all the other kids. I wanted to be in the rehearsal room. I wanted to listen to what they were doing. And it was so much impactful for me because I was so young. You can imagine 1989, I'm like 4 or 3 years old, I think. But I really enjoyed just sitting in that room and watching them rehearse. And it was not so much of a rehearsal, but it was more ministerial, you know what I mean? And I remember every bit of it. And I remember them, getting me a tambourine because they had these huge tambourines. And I remember it was a leather, covered, sort of like skin, small little thing that they got for me. And I was so happy. I was so impressed. I was like, now I'm part of the group. I never even saw that I was so young. So that's one of my earliest memories. And one of the best memories, though, however, was when Apostle E.H. Guti hosted Benny Hinn. I was like 90s, around 95, 94. And Benny Hinn requested that he would want, a full musical group or choir. And we were like about 500 people, and my dad was then chosen to be the one to administer, or rather to direct the choirs and to do the rehearsals. So I remember the books being sent through and they were delivered right at our house. And then I remember one of our bedrooms was filled with all those Benny Hinn songbooks, and then I was so interested. I was so happy. And I remember just being the youngest, having to sing to the tune and having to rehearse. And my dad, I remember at that point, he realized that there was just something in me. I think that's when the realization of the gift came in, because I would sing every song in that book to the note. And I remember the choir members also, pleading with my dad if I could be part of the group. And then they had to sew a little small uniform for me just to be, part of the group. So I was actually one of the youngest. And I remember when Benny Hinn came and how impactful it was. It was at one of the football stadiums in Zimbabwe. I think it was Rufaro Stadium, and it was filled. It was really packed. And I remember being, in the front because you're on the terraces. So I couldn't go as far as, all the other people. So I remember that being the best memory ever for me because I felt as if I was part of something greater. And I didn't see how young I was. It's only now that I have kids that at that age that I realize, oh my goodness, I was so young. But I think that was the best thing. And having to shake Benny Hinn's hand and having him pray over me because he noticed I was the youngest of the choir members that were available. So yeah, that was the best.